Oh, I didn't even have my mic turned on. I was just talking about how I was watching a YouTube video and I forgot to turn it off before I started my stream. I was watching the NOSS of May 3rd. Just sitting there with my eyes closed. I wasn't even really watching it. I was just listening. Their banter is 90% of what I watch them for. Sometimes I'll have a game that I'm actually interested in watching, but most of the time I'm just interested in listening to them talk. I always like hearing them because there is such a vastly, like, different personality type. Like, you get people on all ends of the spectrum and stuff like that. If I ever got any notoriety while streaming, that is the one, like, other streaming show I'd ever want to be featured on, is the NOSS. Not that my personality would ever mesh well with any of them. But then again, I wouldn't know. I just know myself too well. I'd probably be really, really quiet most of the time. That's what I am in most social situations. I'm like the exact opposite of how I am when I'm just like talking to someone one-on-one. I might say a few words here and there. I have a tendency to let my energy get the better of me. How did that even hit me? I'll have to start streaming on PC in order to get anywhere near that level in the first place. Whoops. Excuse me. I need fucking iron wall gems. But I haven't got any at all. Once. Sure. Why not? Crunch, crunch, crunch. Crunchity, crunch. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Crunchy good. I crunch all day. My voice. Oh, there it goes. I had crunch. Crunch gone. Crunch boy. Crunch be gone. Crunchitize me, Captain. Boy, you gonna wind up dead. Oh, wait. Wait. Make a song. I just want one. I just want one. You're not even gonna give me Bombardier as an offense. Oh, fuck you. Yeah, you're gonna give me polish. I don't need polish. I need to polish my weapons. I should have put some blast nut on this. Oh. Oops. Wrong thing. I forgot to turn the time in which my display turns off for a longer period of time. Hey, it's Wistawee again. That was the guy in the other thing. I wish I had some health ammo, my dude. Do I not have normal ammo? No, I don't have the boost to normal ammo. I had spread shots in, which this thing only has one spread ammo type. I think I fucked that up a little bit. Die. I hope they realize you can't paralyze Kieran. And Dunzo'd. Rectorino. Just wrecking them Renos. Get Rectorino. Just wrecking them Renos. I need to make more Bombery. 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 Bradberry. We're talking Bradberries. Scrumptious Bradberries. Some blast nut. Blast my nut. Blast some nut now. Oh yeah, that's right, I need to adjust the time on my display going black. There we go. You crap. I wanted Bombardier. You knows. Thanks. Nose me up before you go down. Nose me up before you know. It's too good for me. Where the hell is it going? Oh my god, dude, do you have to use this shitty wide slash every time? You fucking retarded ass greatsword noob. How did you make it to high rank doing that? Oh right, you summoned people. Freaking jeez, dude. Using the worst attack the greatsword has. He's like, I'm just using it because it's the only one that I can get to hit the boss. Like, you press triangle multiple times. Does no one ever read the inputs in the upper right hand corner of the freaking screen? Like, there are people who complained about it being there. I don't think they realize the level of stupidity that your average player has and the inability to read buttons. And yes, there are attacks that aren't listed, but I figured them out. Other people should be able to figure them out too if they've played video games. You do it by accident, you wonder how you do it, and then you fucking troubleshoot until you do it again. And then you figure it out. Magic. You learned how to play a video game. You've learned how to be better than 80% of the player base that plays this game. New or bad, I see fucking experienced players doing the same thing that Hunter rank 13 guy is doing. Even after they watch a tutorial, and I'm like, yep, that tutorial sure helped them because it didn't even cover the actual like things that it should have covered so that they know what they're actually doing and not just, these are the attacks and this is me doing the attacks. There's no context, they're not using them while fighting or anything. Why you should and shouldn't use some attacks over others in certain situations. He actually hit it with a flip attack, to my amazement. Oh yeah, place it in the corner, because it's totally a PvP game where you're like playing fucking Destiny. It's totally not. You're gonna get fucked in the corner because you're fucking fighting a giant monster with a ridiculous hitbox. That's how you can tell where a gamer came from in their history. That person clearly has never played another game like this in their entire fucking life. Let me put the house boots there in the corner. Right near the edge. Fucking dill cheese. Smoke cheese every day. Cheese, cheese, cheese. Cheese, cheese it up. Cheese, cheese. Give me that food snack item device. all the people that like pop in and like immediately like their thing doesn't even show up for more than 5 seconds. Must be people who accidentally triggered it scrolling through the Monster Hunter thing. That's all I'm guessing. Whoa. Oh. You got a dangle on your face. Stop dangling your face at me. Your face is a fortuitous wrangle. Nope. Woo! 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 Not that way. The other way. It's a big Jargo boy. Holy moly. Jargo boy. Jarg him up now. Jarg. Jagargan horizon. Jargo boy, screw off, you puss. Puss boy. Spoiler. You snot rocket. Your own kin works for me now. They taught me your weakness was yourself. All along. Get over here, snack boy. You are mine now. Snack boy. Come be a pet. Gerosity. Gerosity. Atrocity. Baloney. Whoops. Whoopsies. Gotta pick that back up. I want this little mini bag of corn pops. I'll just eat them motherfuckers dry. When I get in the right mood, I can eat a fucking dumpster. Not the actual stuff inside the dumpster, just the whole dumpster itself. You know what I mean? How are you supposed to freaking open these? Like a pair of freaking... You'd have to have so much grip on your hands. I got grippy hands too, because I mess with hooks and stuff like that all the time. My hands are calloused, to say the least. Corn pops. The ones that come in these containers are way smaller than usual. Oh shit, yeah, they changed them. I haven't seen them in such a long time. Oh, I hadn't got them in such a long time because I rarely eat cereal. But I had been addicted to it. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. I want shield. Too many dang gems. Wait. I just look goofy. I really wish this didn't have free element slash ammo up on it. How do you get more than 4 handicraft, guard 5, and weakness exploit level 3 with guard up and protective polish? I think as much as I hate the looks of it, I want these. I mean, I guess I have to wear it. As much as I don't want to have a build with a wasted slot. Oh well. Corn pops, boy. Nate Higger. Wow, dude. Well, wowzers. Sniper it out of the fucking air, mate. You don't even fucking know. You didn't even know. Stupid little fucking dinosaur. That was a deep sneeze. I like made my head spin. Oh. Deep sneeze. Sneeze. Deep sneeze. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, you fucking boy. Joji. Holy shit. I'm eating so much food recently, it's ridiculous. In the past week, I have probably eaten more food than I have in the past month. Before that week. Before this week. But I want to go out for a smoke. Excuse me. Like, I get in the process of eating, and it's only after I'm eating that I realize I was already full because I'm still burping up what I was tasting before. That's when you know you're eating as frequently as I have the past week. If by the time you're eating something else, you can still taste the other thing gurgling up inside it. It sounds so good when you put it like that. Iados. I'm not gonna do the Dark Souls Network alpha test or whatever the crap. Whatever the flap. Sorry, I was just checking something. I used Facebook for like the first time a few days ago. I commented on one post, scrolled down a little bit, and was like, yep, that's all this is. And then left Facebook. I didn't left Facebook, I just shut it off. Closed the tab. That's what I meant to say. I commented on a friend's post about spam. My friend Kyle, he's been I want to say a guest on my streams, but really he's just been someone who's been chatting with me, and he's been on the streams before. But he was posting a thing, he had never eaten spam before, and he kept saying it tasted like dog food, and I'm like, I don't know where he got the dog food thing from. It doesn't taste like dog food to me. Just because dog food normally tastes even fucking worse and more metallic. Normally dog food tastes metallic. I want to know what dog food he was tasting that doesn't have that metallic he tastes and tastes like Spam. Because if the dog food he gets tastes like Spam, A, that's some salty ass motherfucking dog food. 2, why is it pork? 3, it's probably not good dog food, because normally most dog foods nowadays have like a mixture of a bunch of other bullshit in it, unless it's like one of those special diet type meal things for a dog that I've seen in stores now, where it's just like, what the fuck is are they a human? It's like Rachel Ray making specialized dog foods for dogs of different sizes and stuff like that. And it's like, I appreciate like making the kibble smaller because the dog has a smaller mouth, but like making like dishes that cost a decent amount of money for a dog is just like, what the hell? Why would you do that and expect the animal to even understand that you're putting that much effort into it, because the dog doesn't equate that to something. Like, the dog doesn't know what it's like, in a sense. Like, the dog can't walk in your shoes while having to do it to understand what you're going through to do it for them, so they can't appreciate you for it. The only thing they know is that you're giving them food and you're patting them on the head. And they're just like, yeah. You're giving them food, which is basically just human food, but it tastes a little bit weird. Except for some things I've seen people feed their dogs is literally just human food. That's just what they feed their dogs on a regular basis. Whatever they eat. It's still surreal to me sometimes that I live in like a pretty densely populated area for New Hampshire, and it's just fucking dead quiet at night. Like, you wouldn't know I stepped outside. There's no vehicles, there's no sounds of crickets because they haven't became crickets yet. They're still little grubs or whatever you want to call them. So it's just dead silent, with the occasional owl on some nights to add the eeriness. It's also just surreal to me to be living in a public area, because I lived in a area where, like, if you went around the corner out back of the house, it was pitch black. The street lights ended right before my house, and that was the last street light, but behind that was just mountain, and it was just pitch black at night. And as a kid in the summer, it was always great, because there was almost no light pollution, so you could see hundreds of lightning bugs, fireflies, whatever you want to call them. The area we lived in had a really, really low density tick population, so you didn't have to worry about getting ticks on you if you ran through a field that much. So it was really fun. We used to play hide and seek and make these mazes in the really, really tall grass that would grow in some of the open areas of forestry. It was such tall grass that if you folded it over the top of you as you like made a little tunnel, you could make like a canopy and it would legit like be a little fort that you could crawl into. If you were a little kid anyways. We spent a lot of time just making paths through it for our vehicles. Our dirt bikes and stuff like that couldn't just drive through it normally unless you wanted to get like whiplashed by every piece of grass or thorn that was in there, so you'd have to like go in there like feet first with a tool and just press down the grass as you'd go and just make like a path. Because it was in like a really, really fertile area with like a brook that came through, so the grass grew like so rampantly, and there were raspberry, black raspberry, blackberry, I can't remember what the other ones are called, but they're like blackberries, but they grow on like these tiny little 1 foot tall bushes. We had the wild blueberries, or the like tiny blueberries that you see in like fancy ass hipster markets and stuff like that. We had those because I mean it's the Northeast, so you have just about all those kinds of wild berries that just grow all over the place. And then if you were lucky, you'd get the place where they'd crossbreed and you'd get the odd like mutative golden berry, which would be incredibly rare. And those things tasted like a dream. Now where I live, we don't have any of the berry bushes nearby. My neighbors have some black raspberry bushes that I was helping them trim. Just because last year when I moved in, they weren't harvesting them, and I was like, that's a huge waste. You realize you have like at least a gallon or two of berries back there. And it's like, at worst, they can become preserves / jam. You're not going to eat them, which most people, the second you give them some, they're gone in like a day and a half, because wild like black raspberries just have that addicting flavor to them. At least if you're not like a fucking city person who grew up on garbage their entire life, then you should like any sort of raspberry or blackberry hybrid, as long as it's grown in the wild. The ones in supermarkets taste nothing like their wild counterparts. Same thing with wild strawberries. There are wild strawberries that you can find around here that are like microscopically sized. well, not microscopically sized, but they're, if you can imagine a entire strawberry, but it was only the size of your thumbnail, that's what these strawberries are like. But they're like the juiciest, sweetest strawberry that you've ever had in your life, condensed into a tiny little strawberry, like a strawberry concentrate in the form of an actual strawberry. And those are, like, again, some of the most addicting things. If you find them in the forest, you'll probably be there for like 30 minutes to an hour just engorging yourself on the fucking things. Just because you'll wonder what they are at first, because they look, they're almost too good to be true when you discover them for the first time. If you're ever walking and you didn't know about them, you'd be like, these look just like little tiny strawberries, because they only grow on bushes that get maybe 6 inches tall. And very in open canopy zones in forests and stuff like that, or areas where the canopy is slightly exposed because they need shade to grow for part of the day. They need like 4 or 5 hours of shade. There are places around here that are no joke known as berry picking areas. And people will go and park their car on the side of the road and hike up through these trails just to pick wild black raspberries and stuff like that. It's always a great thing to see. Not the people picking berries part, but just the sheer amount of them. There's something about seeing that much, like, fruit with all the different colors and everything that's just so satisfying. Like, I no joke have, like, dreams about just being in fields and just seeing the red and the purples and the oranges and stuff like that. There are very, very few things which put me at ease as much as that. It now makes me realize how, like, spoiled I was when I was younger. In terms of just the place that I lived and what I got to explore and see. I got basically half of a mountain to explore as a kid. And my parents didn't worry because everything was all localized around that brook. So if they wanted to find us, all they'd have to do is just walk up along the brook a little bit, follow the paths, and you could be right there. There wasn't... I mean, there were, like, wild animals and stuff like that, but, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when I was a kid, I used knives since I was, like, 6, 7 years old, and I could more than well defend myself from animals. I never ran into the situation where I had to. No, that's not saying I never ended up having to kill animals either. I've talked about how I used to have a garden at my old house that I maintained when I was younger. And I killed a fucking... I think it was a groundhog that kept eating my cantaloupes. It was eating my cantaloupes and my watermelons, and it kept picking them and like eating part of them but still leaving them like attached to the vine. And it was causing it to be like really fucking nasty in the garden. So when I saw him doing it one day, I like snuck up behind him and he started to run, and he ran over to this hole, and I, no joke, sat there for 30 minutes shoveling the entire thing out until he was exposed, and I just fucking shoveled him right in the face. And he had been digging holes all over our yard anyways. A lot of people would be like, you're fucked up, but I just didn't have that same thing. I mean, when you grow up where I grew up versus growing up in the city, you have a different attitude towards pests. Animals that are pests and then piss you off. It's like the same thing when you go to Australia and everyone's like, but how could you say that they eat the kangaroos and that the kangaroos are pests? Australians do not, like, kangaroos jump out in the middle of the fucking road half of the time, and like it's like the equivalent of a deer but for Australia, and you just like they're just fucking annoying for them. Now I wouldn't say they're equivalent to a deer in terms of like the meat, because I mean a marsupial I don't think has the same like meat texture as a normal mammal, but I don't know. I think that all depends on diet, really, and what muscle you decide to eat. Yeah, in areas, certain animals are pests. They breed too much, and they breed too fast, and if there aren't other predators around, because you've gotten rid of the predators, you have to be the predator, and you have to get rid of those kinds of pests. They build up, and then you're just left with a bunch of fucking shitty animals that are walking around getting into everything. Because they have no discipline. Of course, this applies, again, to areas like where I live. You're not going to find that in the middle of, like, fucking Melbourne or Sydney, I'd imagine. In the same way that you're not going to find that in the middle of, like, for an example of, like, an even remotely sized city would be, like, Montpelier or Burlington or something like that. Berlin. Maybe Concord. Cities where you have to literally go outside of all the buildings to get wildlife. Where I live, you can literally like take a 5-minute drive from what is considered downtown, and you're immediately surrounded on both sides by trees. On both roadways that leave and enter. So it's like it's not anything comparable to where most people live. So when I talk about a lot of that stuff, and people always consider it to be like a bad thing. Like YouTube censors that kind of shit heavily now because of how people are so against that kind of shit when they just don't understand it. Animals don't sort themselves out like everyone thinks they do. when we used to think that way, what we used to have happen was you'd have years where deer would die off massively due to the fact there wasn't enough food for the deer. And then you'd have like 2 to 3 years where there were very, very little populations of deer in some area due to the lack of food because there was no balancing to anything. And that's why in some areas, when you go to get tags for hunting, you're only allowed to take, like, there's only 13 tags, for example, in my district. If you were to go hunting for a moose, there's only 13 tags available, period. That's only 13 separate hunters can go hunting for moose this year. So it's not, again, it's not like people are going out there and just fucking annihilating animals. Now, the people who do, like, sports hunting and are the reason why, like, rhinoceros and shit like that, like, poaching is completely different than actual hunting. There's research value in hunting. You get to see the quality of the life and it's still maintaining the same quality. If the meat starts all of a sudden tasting bad on the animals in your area that used to taste good, then you know something's wrong with the fucking wildlife in your area. You don't need to be an expert in, like, animal biology to understand that. Spaghetti or sandwich? Depends. Can I have garlic bread with spaghetti and make a spaghetti garlic bread sandwich? Is that a loophole? Or is it just spaghetti by itself? Because normally when you eat spaghetti where I am, you have garlic bread with it. Garlic. You eat that garlic bread. How did I not take damage there? Oh my god, I rolled into it. Dang it. I'm getting hit here. Yeah. Well, at least I got my sword charged. Dang it. I was trying to get on one of his front legs. Wow. I'm really surprised I didn't get hit by that either. Yes, there we go. And it's dead. Sharpen anyways. I'm not using greatsword right now. Or if you were asking because of earlier, no. Greatsword is not my main. I don't really have a main. But I have the most kills with Switch Axe, so I guess you could call that my main. I'll show you my guild card once we leave this. I never noticed the little throwing knives on the chest. How would you even, like, use those things effectively? It'd be like quick drawing micro katanas. I want to see a Bushido that's dressed up like that, with just the gradual size of katana, like all the way from like a full size I don't know what you would call it, the like before it becomes an actual odachi, and then down to like a wakizachi or something like that. That's much smaller. I don't know many of the in-betweens. The only ones I know are like from video games. Like the Aito and stuff like that. It's like a slightly smaller katana. Smaller than a normal uchi. Yeah, see. Switch axe is like a little bit past a lot of the other things at this point. I think the weapon that a lot of people underrate the most, even though I use the switch axe a lot, the lance is probably the strongest weapon in my opinion, in terms of just being able to get something done. Any of the bosses in the game it can kill with relative ease without needing like anything but guard. But I use everything. The only thing I don't really like using is the glaive, just because the glaive is just... It's so annoying to manage, even after they buffed the amount of time that you stay buffed for, which I didn't even figure out until the other day. Or, I didn't hear about it until one of my friends told me about it the other day, I should say. I don't know, I just make tons of random shit. And just put it together in random shit builds. Here, we'll do some gun lance. Yeah, the only thing that I don't like about the charge blade that really, like, at least in my opinion, if you're just talking in general gameplay, I just like the lance's ability to never be touched. There's a lot of small things about it that most people probably wouldn't even know. Hold on, I'll use my, like, it's not the greatest lance build, but it's just a solid thing to fall back on. This is what I use for killing Tempered Devil Joe and stuff like that. If you don't have Joe's lance, you can just use Nergigante's or anything like that. You can use Love and Sorrow as well, the Valhazak one. That can get white sharpness and does quite a hefty amount of damage. I don't have it out of all of the weapons I have, just because farming his fangs is ridiculous. Insurance. Damn it. I should have just went for the chef's choice and got the near guaranteed. go it up in here a little bit. It's another benefit of the lance. Oh shit, he's going for me. Never mind. Oh shit. I wasn't even pressing the R2 button. I wasn't even though that was the center of the screen, my eyes were focused on this guy, not her. This is like one of the best missions to show off the effectiveness of the lance. Whoops. Sorry, bud. You can't catch me. Oh! You can catch me when I run into the wall, though. I forgot that the turning reverses when you're running towards the screen. I always forget that. Whoops. If you didn't know about guard dashing, you can guard dash in any direction following any attack except a guard dash itself and the shield thrust after it. The guard dash is that little move you keep seeing me do where you change position with the shield. So you can do this move right here and then immediately follow it up by guard dashing. And guard dashing allows you to stay safe. I mean, I did get hit, but I wasn't paying attention in that situation. But basically, if you play this weapon right and you're passive enough, and you don't follow up the guard dash, you can play it in a way where you're never going to get hit. Because you can control when they hit you, and you can control where you are on the battlefield so much better than other weapons. If every other weapon in the game had to press 2 buttons and move a direction to, like, move while dodging, then every weapon would have that same, like, quality. But it's just that one, like, small thing. If you could, like, say if you were using a charge blade, if you could guard point while moving to left in one animation, then that would be great. But you can't. But you can do the 360-degree block and then follow it up by a guard dash going backwards, so you know that there's, like, no possibility of something hitting you. And I forgot to leave and go back to the fucking hub because I'm an idiot. It's alright. I have a setup I wanted to do Valhazak anyways. Oh, now it gives me Bombardier when I'm not gonna use my sticky ammo build. Because I don't want to use up that last Nergigante investigation. So I'll use up one of these Valhazaks. What do you mean, how do you run? Oh, again, sorry I wasn't even looking at chat, I was focusing. But yeah, you're talking about the charge attack? You didn't know you could do the charge attack? That's like one of the main points of using the lance, man. It can do that. It has 3 different charge states. So you can, like, you can do that attack, and then if you follow and chase after a monster, you'll, like, gain speed, and your character will, like, go poosh, and, like, it'll look like wind is breaking around your character, and then you can basically catch up to any single monster in the game when doing that. That's normally the first thing that most people figure out. If you just hold R2 and then press circle and triangle, you can even do that out of another weapon attack. So say you do just a normal circle or triangle thrust, if you then press R2 and circle and triangle and as like one button, you'll immediately enter the charge. The charge has a bunch of different inputs that can be done out of it as well. So you can do side steps, you can stop, you can completely turn around and do a 180, you can guard, which also stops you, but it stops you with a guard. You can do a finishing thrust, which will thrust forward, and you can do a backwards wide slash that retains the charge level. So you can do, like on one of my streams yesterday, I cut a tail off of a monster by doing the charge attack and doing the backwards wide slash and cutting the tail off with the lance. You can even jump while you're doing it. So if you press forward, if you press the direction your character's going while you're using the lance and you're doing the charge, and you press jump, you can actually jump, and the jump can actually clear like a decently sized ledge in the game. You can also, of course, dash into walls, and then just, it'll continue going off of the wall in the opposite direction. I'll show you a cool trick with the sword and shield when you're mounted on a monster. That I believe only the sword and shield can do. Alright, so when it goes to the place, when you go to actually attack with your weapon, if it lets me, it was going to. You can strike twice and then move a body part, and then strike twice, and then move a body part, and strike twice again, until they just keep, and then they will just fall like normal. But it allows you to get more damage out of it, instead of just getting the 3-hit finisher. I need to sharpen my weapon. Dang it. Get back here. I can only flash you once because of the new fucking stupid balance changes. Tempered Valhazak literally gets immune to flashing after one flash pod. One singular flash pod is all you get. That's how overbalanced the game is now. I'm not even kidding. I'll just show you for purposes, because I don't even really use flash pods on him. But here, he's immune now. Now I cannot use another flash pod on him for the entire rest of the fight. It'll do literally nothing to him. Watch, I'll show you. Oh, wait. Oh, you might think that's just a fluke. Here, I'll just to make sure. Yeah, it's pretty safe to say he's like 100% immune. Good old Capcom. Such an easy way to make something harder without even affecting half of the people who play the game. Because again, there's some people who actually use that stuff regularly. On flying monsters, it's a lot more useful. Oh, come on. That's why whenever someone dies in this game, that's why I changed my death thing to blame Capcom. It's just blame Capcom. There's no other logic to it. Half of the time you died, it's not even your fault as a gamer. It's just blame Capcom. That's the reason you died. Don't attack me. Attack my Chippo. I said attack my Chippo. Oh. I just happened to lay him in the grass. Get staggered, boy. How? I had my shield. Excuse me? I guess I can't block that. He keeps using that attack with like a trailer park-sized hitbox. You dick. Stop. Yeah, it's honestly stupid to the point of like, why even have the mechanic in the game anymore? Like, I can understand them nerfing it down to like, oh, you can only use like 5 in single player and like 10 in multiplayer or something like that. But no, like at most you get 4. It's like, come on. Like, I understand you didn't even like the fact that you put it in the game in the first place. But they couldn't have honestly thought, in the same way that they nerfed slashing and slicing ammo when it wasn't even the sorry, I have indigestion. When it wasn't even close to being the strongest ammo type. Like, cluster bombs with heavy bow guns were vastly more broken than... I just don't even know. I don't know what they even think sometimes. Ooh. Oh. Never mind. Not ooh. Boo. Garboo. I'm actually relatively calm tonight. Normally I'm pretty ragey when it comes to Monster Hunter and talking about that kind of stuff. But I just don't have the energy for it at the moment. I'm pretty tired. And I'm pretty stoned, too. So that helps. Again, I went back to the freaking... I'm a genius. I still have not gotten a single iron wall gem, a single artillery gem. Like, I have 3 attack gems. Some people can't even get more than 1. Some people have 1, but they have like 7 artillery gems. I can't get 1 artillery gem. 1 artillery gem or an iron wall gem so I can stop using the stupid basil chest piece. In all of my guard builds. What type of thing did you want me to use? I mean, I can show you all of what I have, pretty much. I mean, I know it's probably pretty hard to see. Probably viewing on a mobile device. I have a lot of different stuff. I mean, I guess I should be showing more just the vast pages of weapons, so. This is probably what you saw that might have been greatsword. But yeah. I have a lot of weapons. I have a lot of augmentations as well. If you're wondering what augmentations are or how to unlock them, I can explain that if you want. Or what you should be looking for if you're trying to build a specific build, what pieces of armor are the best for it. Because even though I don't do, like, the perfect min-max build, I could tell you probably how to do that. There's a couple different ways. All depends on what weapon you want to use. The only weapons that I feel like I don't really like to teach people, mostly because I hate coming across them, are both dual swords and glaive. Both those weapons, whenever I encounter them from other people, I hate the other people so much, normally, that I don't even want to play that weapon because I don't want to induce the same infuriating, annoying player-on-player stun lock onto another player just because they're not wearing flinch-free on their armor. Like, I just don't want to do that. I'd rather have a more accurate weapon that places damage more accurately and consistently than something that's half fucking around with a bug and then half smacking it with the face, but I stun everyone in a 360-degree circle around me while I do it, negating everyone around me if they don't have a greatsword or a weapon with super armor. And it's just... it's fucking annoying. To some extent. It's why it's also like the weapon you see the least amount of them crafted of. Because most of these glaives are just ones that I got from the tear-off thing. I wouldn't be caught dead using them. Now I can get down with some charge blade. I also really like Hunting Horn, if you've never used that before either. Well, I'm gonna go out for a smoke anyways. I should probably put my jacket on. It's only a couple degrees above freezing out. I just like smashed my cigarette into my face. That's pretty good. I just like punched myself in the face with a cigarette. How hungry can one man be? I already want to grab another one of them. Little baby boxes of cereal and just fucking pour it down my face like a funnel. Actually, I think I'm gonna swap over to the Zora Magdaros set when I go inside. Even though the Basil Horn isn't really good for that. I just want to do it. Either that or use the Teostra one. But I don't like using the Teostra one because it doesn't have gem slots. Then again, Part Breaker is so nice. Then again, the build I did use to kill Kolve Taroth solo was a build that didn't use Part Breaker. It was actually the build that's on one of the front page of my equipment loadout thing called Hammer Axe. It's the Pandemonium's root of all Hazak hammer. That hammer I used to do it. The power of white sharpness and weakness exploit and flipping off of the side over and over and over again. And then trying to hit it with a slinger ammo when it was doing one of the breath attacks. I want Monster Hunter to do more baby monsters too. I want Brolu Yaku. He's just a green version. that looks like a velociraptor, but with feathers. But only a couple feathers. Either that or introduce like different types of current monsters. That would be cool. Like how they have a Diablos and a Black Diablos. Introduce like a... I don't know, like... I was trying to come up with something that would look cool at the same time. Like a flaming Odogaron, maybe? Or an Odogaron that acts more like Devil Joe, in a sense, where, like, it can access its, like, steam mode a lot faster. Sorry, I'm gonna take a toke real quick and then I'll be back playing. I just want to see something like that. I don't know, they need to add more monsters so it's not like, oh yeah, there's this one ailment in the game, but only one singular monster that doesn't even have a secondary type of itself can apply. Like bleed. Only Odogaron can bleed you. Just like Devil Joe is the only thing in the game that can apply the double defense down. The Barnos can apply a singular defense down. Like it's a defense down, but it only has one red arrow on it. It's like a defense down large, I guess you would say. Devil Joe's is. His is like a defense down large, whereas those guys is like a defense down small, or whatever. However you want to quantify it. Though I don't think bleed is a very fun ailment, I just think it's very weird that there's ailments in the game that there are literally only one monster that can apply them. Like ice and stuff like that. It's like, cool, you have like 2 or 3 different hunting horns in the game, but the caveat being that there's only one monster that applies ice. Now, there are multiple monsters that deal ice damage, but the second monster that deals ice damage can't apply ice as an ailment, though. And that one being Kushala Daora. It's a tiny bear off. Dang it. Oh my word. This guy's all cap shout outs when he's the one fainting. You only deserve to have all cap shout outs after your certain hunter rank. The hunter rank is 999. Nice. We did it. Kaboom! If we use the Teostra hunting horn, we'll do more blast, but I don't know if it'll actually do more damage. Wish I had gloves with a level 3 slot and a level 1 slot. Can't change those. Where is my mighty gem? I don't care about those bounties. They don't mean anything to me anymore. The Tail Raider Safari returned like 300 hunts ago. I'll have to help someone do an 8 rank quest. Wow. I got specialist with a nigh 0 chance to get it. But I can't get specialist when I have 3 out of 3 stars. This game is good. This is good game. What percentage chance was that roll that I just got right there? Is what I want to know. Hello. I forgot that this hunting horn has that. Scout fly power up. Dang it. You suck. Ooh, big girl. That's a huge... Thanks for walking into it. Stop. She's probably like, thanks for walking into it. Oh, I did the thing where I put it on and then I removed it. I should probably heal, even though I'm not really in that much danger. Nope. Yeah. That's the fastest way to actually play songs. Fun fact, tutorial makers. Such a snide asshole I am. They'll mention how it's the fastest way to shoot high recoil light bowgun and heavy bowgun ammo, but they won't touch on the fact that if you have a ledge with the hunting horn, it can be way better. Because no matter what, doing that ledge drop attack is way faster than doing the circle triangle attack normally. It's faster than doing most attacks normally, as long as the ledge is small. Not only that, it's easier to roll out of. That's why I prefer using circle triangle attacks as the butt stab unless I'm trying to go for KO damage. Oh wait, wrong charm. Don't have a third critical jewel yet. Now it's time for some damage. Won't be doing as many blasts, but the damage is actually so much higher with this thing. When you start getting near those like upper tiers of base damage, it starts increasing your actual damage so much so much more significantly. Mostly due to the way defense works, less due to the way that base raw and stuff like that works. I'm doing alright, man. Just playing some hunting horn. Didn't you get this game? If so, how far have you gotten? I'd consider that far. You're past Tempered Kieran, that's where most people get brick walled. It's where a good portion of my friends got brick walled. I hate to call them out, but if I go here, These are friends of mine. 49. This guy's also a friend of mine. I just didn't have him tagged as a friend, so is this guy. That's how far these guys have gotten. And this guy specifically has had the game he only got the game like a week or two after me. And it took me like a week or two just to get to the point of like high rank and stuff like that, because I messed around so much in expeditions and shit, trying to do all the side quests. Sorry, I was fucking around so much in this guy's game when I shouldn't be. I'm sorry, guy. Dead. You are dead. I came down at the wrong time, right when it was in rampage mode. I don't think he entirely was boosted all the way through the missions. I mean, some people do get carried quite a lot. But the guy's name is I Am Special, so give him a little bit of slack. His online ID is Undercover Taco 89. And he's responding to SOS here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why, dude? I was trying to sympathize for you until I saw what you're doing, and now I'm just like, I can't even sympathize for you. No more poor dude, just like, you could have, so many things you could have done different. Yeah, I Am Special fainted because he is special. And now we got a bagel. I need to get my cream cheese out, man. This weapon ain't cream cheese. I need my lance, dude. Oh my bagels. And someone shot him with turd nuggets. Nope, can't play a song there. Oh, now we got another... Oh, Turf War, what? I've never seen the Rathian Diablos Turf War before. That's sick, dude. I've played 1,200 hours of this fucking game and I've never seen that. It's still going on? What the hell was going on there? It's rampaged, like its eye is red on the map over there. Never mind, it went red. It's going towards the Rathian. Of course it would. He's exhausted. Oh. It nudged me to the side. Hey, he did that right. But I can't tell if he did it by accident or on purpose, so... Oh, we got another hunting horn user? What everyone calls a dooter, but I don't like the word doot, so I don't call it that. And he's using the Rathian Bell, which does fire damage, which Diablos is like 100% immune to. Someone's probably going to capture it. And dunk. Dunk. Yeah. Yeah. Saw that coming. I am unimpressed. Support All-Star. I don't know what weapon I want to use next. I kinda want to use greatsword. Did I save that build I made the other day for the greatsword? Yes. Oh yeah, but that's right. I fucking saved it with expert gems. It's not bad. It could be worse. I'll go with it anyways. It's not like anyone's gonna see that and be like, well, he wasted his slots. I just don't have anything better to put in them. I'll help this guy. I feel like people who are doing main story missions get little to no help sometimes. I'm gonna have to stop playing after this one though. I'll be back on later. I was actually going to start another pre-sequel playthrough, but I was sort of waiting off on that. Because I've been playing Borderlands a lot recently, but I finally actually got someone to start playing it with, so I was like, it doesn't matter that much. I'll just play Monster Hunter. Someone will see it. And someone will see something they probably didn't know. I like doing the optional quest for Nergigante the most because a second Elder Dragon can actually spawn, and there are like little unique turf wars that can go on. Even though it's always scripted, I believe, for Nergigante to win, I've never seen another one of the Elder Dragons beat him. I don't know where my brain skipped a beat on that one. I think it was trying to think about the combat at the same time. Them Elder Draggers. Them Elgy Draggers. I hate that attack. You schnozberry! Are you really gonna, like, dive bomb me 3 times in a row? Oh. He was gonna do it, too. If Glaive Dude could do more than just flail around in the air. I should have used a weapon with Elder Seal. Because this glaive user ain't doing it. Stop! That's gonna suck. He loves me. I think I got Feline Provoker. What are you clowns doing? Well, he's up there now. We don't even get to use the falling never mind, he's coming back down here. Now we get to use the falling boulders. Yeah, come for me, boy. You love me. I love you too. Get your fucking head stomped. There is literally zero possible way to avoid that. Besides just to throw your controller on the ground and just do nothing. I'm not even joking. If you literally do nothing in that situation, you won't take damage. If you do something, you'll take damage. It's the most counterintuitive bullshit that exists in this game. If you even remotely touch the analog stick, your character stands back up and then you're fucked. Oh. Mr. Elder Seal couldn't do his job again. And I can't do all the damage on his face alone to break his horns on his face to knock him down. I need other people to help me do that. Even when landing 1,000 plus damage, because it takes like 1,400 damage just to trigger a break on him. And if you don't meet that threshold before the thorn hardens, then his thorn hardens, and then you're left with a boss that bounces every single hit, even if you have a white sharpness weapon. This is why I always say this game is so much harder in multiplayer than it is in single player. Because it's not even the fact that the monster has so much more HP, it's the fact no one knows how to focus parts properly. Or how to, like, if the monster's looking at you, then it's probably your best option to avoid it and then do some damage on his head. In the way that I try to do it. I don't play perfect, but, like, Oh wow, we actually broke some of his thorns. It's almost like people actually started attacking his face alongside me. Gotta hit the white thorns, man. If you break him off when he's running around, it's a guaranteed knockdown. And then he just sits there flopping around like a ding-dong. Into hell I go. I wish I could... I want to be lava. Just melt my ugliness all into one actual armor set. So that it looks nicer. I'd rather wear a single plate of lava than 7 hideous pieces of things that don't look together. Look good together. I know English. Well, thanks for watching if you did. I know some people just watch streams to not actually watch them and listen. I'm one of those people. I watch the NLSS, as it's called, Northern Line Super Show, quite often. But 90% of the time I'm not actually watching it, I'm just listening to it. As I was saying earlier. But I might be back on later. We'll see. Peace out, everyone.